In this video, I'm going to show you exactly how these big institutions are profiting on your despair and exactly how you can protect yourself. A lot of people are very gullible.
I am gullible.
Yes.
Oh, I didn't.
So gullible.
And what I mean about that is that they literally have an overdeveloped amygdala, and the amygdala is trying to seek pleasure and avoid pain. The amygdala is trying to seek an easy life and avoid challenges. But as the Buddha said, seeking whatever is unattainable or trying to avoid what is unavoidable is the cause of human suffering. So what I do in my work is I help people train their intuition and kind of neutralize the activity of the amygdala and build the pathways in the brain so they can have their blood, glucose, and oxygen activate the best part of the brain, the prefrontal cortex, where you actually have foresight. You bring order to the chaos and you're able to lead yourself. And when you're able to lead yourself, eventually you're able to lead your family. And when you're able to lead your family, you can grow to the next concentric sphere of influence, which is your town, your nation, the continent, and the world. So what I wanted to address is the 4 biggest institutions in the world and how they are profiting on your disempowerment. So within every discipline, and I would say ology, you will find a balance. So in geology, you have North Pole, South Pole. In neurology, you have parasympathetic and sympathetic nervous system. In physics, you have electron and you have positron. And we know with the magnet, if you have a magnet, that magnet has positive and negative pole, and you can't cut the magnet in two and then expect to have a one-sided magnet. It doesn't work. So the 4 biggest institutions in the world are also the 4 disciplines that doesn't acknowledge this balance. The balance is there, I promise you the balance is there, but they don't acknowledge it as such yet. Hopefully they will, and when they will, the world will be radically transformed out of their disempowerment and into empowerment. So the 4 biggest disciplines that doesn't acknowledge this paradigm is sociology, theology, medicine, and psychology. So these are the 4 biggest disciplines. Biggest institutions, of course. With sociology, it's politics. And what are they trying to sell? What imbalance are they trying to sell to the masses that's disempowered? Well, sociology and politics, they try to sell peace without war, harmony without conflict.
Politics.
But it's totally unrealistic, because within yourself, if I ask you and you answer me honestly, and I ask you this question, do you always have inner peace? You would say, no, I have sometimes inner peace, sometimes inner conflict. And then I would ask you, well, in your family, do you always have peace in the family and harmony in the family? And you would say, no, sometimes we have war and conflict. And then I would ask, well, in your nation, do you have that? No. Well, in the world, do you have that? No. Because it's unrealistic. It doesn't embrace the principle of balance. And that's what I want to teach here. It's to live a life by principle and not a life like a dog, trying to seek pleasure, avoid pain. We are human beings. We have the ability to bring meaning to things. And that's how you live a meaningful life, is to embrace both sides of life. And if you don't do that, well, life is going to be suffering. So the politics, and poly means many, and ticks means bloodsuckers, they are going to profit upon your disempowerment. So the next one is theology, which is religion. And what are they trying to sell to you? Well, they're trying to sell heaven without hell. But that doesn't exist. It can't exist. In this universe that we know about, it cannot exist. Heaven and hell is on earth based on your degree of gratitude. If you're grateful, you're in heaven. If you're in ingratitude, you're in hell. So you can actually choose to live in heaven or live in hell here on earth based on how much you want to change the world around you. But everything is a reflection of you, so you just realize if you go the inner journey, the path to your own enlightenment, that was always your choice. Because you can't have heaven without the hell. It doesn't exist. How can you experience good things without knowing what bad things are? That's the truth. The next one, the next discipline that doesn't acknowledge the balance of life and the nature of the universe and the existence that we have as a human existence, is medicine. They're trying to sell you drugs, so they're trying to sell you health without illness. And that's impossible. You can't just get rid of the symptoms and expect to get rid of the cause of the symptoms. So they're trying to give you a pill to fix the symptoms, not realizing that you're not fixing the cause and you're not addressing the problem behind the problem. And those drugs are, of course, causing more problems, more by effects. I forget the word. You know what I'm talking about. So if you want to have health, you don't go to the allopathic medicine system because they don't sell health there. They sell you a one-sided fantasy, and it's going to create more problems, more disease for you. The way you actually create health is you try to master your own health and embrace the balance of disease and health. And what I mean about that is you need to find the cause of your symptoms, and you transform the cause of what's actually behind your disease. Many times I get people coming to me with chronic fatigue and fibromyalgia, and then we help them solve their traumas in their life, and whoop, suddenly they don't have those symptoms anymore. Well, I don't know. I just help you love yourself and love your life. It's not my fault that you don't suddenly have chronic fatigue anymore or fibromyalgia anymore. That's not my focus. I just try to help people to become in love with life. And maybe that's a key. I don't know. But it sure is better than just staying in the disease and illness all the time. So the next one, the last ology discipline that doesn't embrace both sides of life is psychology. And of course, the therapy that follows. So these are the 4 biggest institutions: politics, religions, drugs, and psychology and medicine. Well, drugs is medicine there. It's the 4 biggest institutions in the world because they try to sell to the masses of people that haven't mastered their life yet. And they're making a hell of a profit. So next time you judge these institutions, take a look at your own life and try to look at your own empowerment and why you're addicted to, and how you are addicted to the one-sided fantasy that these are trying to sell you. So on the last note there, the psychology, what are they trying to sell you? Well, they're trying to sell you happiness without sadness. So let's say a person comes in and then they have a victim story that, oh, I've been bullied and it's terrible and my life is ruined. And then the psychologists are going to say, yeah, it's because of that. And of course, you were bullied and that's the result of the bullying. And let's try to, they get you to talk about it and blah, 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 blah. But they're not really helping the individual heal their trauma and heal their addiction to their own victim mentality They're actually just talking about it, talking around about it, without solving the true issue, which is their addiction to their victim mentality. And I said this many times, but I haven't met a single person that has been experiencing bullying or traumatic events that I haven't been able to help to balance that and find meaning in that and actually gain strength from that. It might take them 20 years before they come to me and suddenly I help them resolve all of that and they see, oh, it's all been a victim story all the time. And their life has so-called been ruined, but then again, they see how they created their own life, because being a master of your own life is about taking full responsibility of your own life. So that's how psychology, they try to sell happiness without sadness. You ain't getting anywhere with that perspective. You need to embrace the both sides of life. And the only way you're going to do that is if you live your life purpose. So this is what I do. I help people love themselves and give themselves permission to be themselves, find their purpose, and of course, resolve the emotional blockages and the baggage that they have that keeps them from living their life purpose and keeps them from loving themselves. And that's also the same thing I do when people come to me and they experience conflicts in a relationship and they don't experience to have a healthy, safe, and intimate connection with their partner. I take them on the same journey of self-love, because the true reason why there's a rupture and a disconnection and a lack of safety in the relationship is because they have an imbalance in the relationship to themselves. So you can check out more of my stuff on that, of course, if you're interested in that. I talk a lot about that. So follow me on all the social medias, like and subscribe to this video, and see you next time.